What's going on, gamers? This video is going to be specifically talking about Xbox exclusivity. What Matt Booty actually said here when it comes to Xbox exclusivity strategy. I still think when it comes to this brand and its identity and its strategy, all they do is confuse the market and confuse people, and they need to now realize that they should never do that again. But I don't think this is possible. It was just like the 4 games. It's just like everything's doing this multi-platform. I think in general, they're going to change their mind again if things don't work. And you cannot take anything this company says as solidification. And I'm going to explain in this video why I'm going to say that and why other people feel the same way. And BG has a comment to say too about the Gears of War exclusivity, and not because you are not getting Gears of War on PlayStation, but because Microsoft just can't stay consistent when it comes to a lot of things, definitely in the gaming world. Now, here is a clip right here of what Matt is telling Paris here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Become a member if you guys want. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Here we go.
2027. We also want to be clear. Our big multiplayer games, live service games, are going to continue to be multi-platform.
Yeah, but Gears is a big multiplayer game. I'm just saying, look, a big multiplayer live service games will continue to be multi-platform. I feel like the Gears E-Day thing was kind of like just make it exclusive. Guys, I'm just going to tell you, I don't think that was a solidified decision that has been in solidification for a long time. I feel like this just happened at like a light switch before they did this presentation. They just decided to do it then, just because of how much he was talking and doing all of that. We have to talk about this because I feel like that statement doesn't make any sense. It's like Sony saying, oh, we're going to make the next Helldivers only on PlayStation. But you said all your multiplayer live service games are going to be multi-platform. Why did you make Gears, which is a multiplayer game, Horde, PvE and PvP, a console exclusive then? If that's what you want to do, sure, but once again, your message is confusion. That's what you're doing. You're bringing confusion to the media world, to the gaming world, and to your own install base. Because you just contradicted yourself by what you said. I'm just saying, look, if you say multiplayer live service games, then that'll make people think too, okay, so what about certain single player games? Well, Halo Campaign Evolved is single player. Fable is pretty much a single player game in a lot of terms. You see what I mean? Unless you're trying to say Gears is not a big multiplayer live service game. Well, what do you mean it is? But that's just what you wanted to do. And you know, if you come and explain that, probably people will feel better. But I kind of feel like now you want to play around with exclusives again. This company just can't be consistent. That's my problem. You know, let's keep continuing though.
Promise something to players already. We're going to make that. We're going to honor that promise, right? And then we're going to really, I think Asha said it, we're going to make the right decision, not the fast decision.
But Gears of War E-Day was a fast decision. Because why was it listed? And they said the game was pretty much complete. You turned that around real quick. I just got to say it. They like to talk a lot, but I want to see positive results and consistency before I believe it. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to keep thinking about this going forward. And I think you guys know as well as anybody that our principle is when we announce a date, we want to announce the platforms. So it's going to be case by case, but we're going to be clear that when it's got a date, it's got a platform, and you'll know what the choice is going to be.
Okay. Now, I will get back to Gears of War
2020.
So you heard what he said right there. That from now on, if you don't see the logos coming, like PlayStation 5, Switch 2, and all that, it's most likely going to be Game Pass, Xbox, and PC. Meaning Steam, which is not full exclusive. It's like Sony still putting their games on Steam, and you're saying it's an exclusive. No, it's not. It never came to Xbox, sure. But it's not only on PlayStation. That's what a true exclusive is. So I would say that you're doing a console exclusive, but you're not doing a true exclusive. Because a true exclusive means only in that world. That's how it's always worked. You know what I mean? The moment you put it on another platform that is not yours, you have now went back to full exclusives. And you're not saying it's going to be about the Xbox hardware. This is how you know this Gears becoming an exclusive is not about Xbox hardware selling again. I want you guys to realize this. Then I need to have probably something separate about how the message of Xbox Helix is going to be confusing. Because in order for that to even work, because that's going to be a PC OEM, you're going to have a cheaper model or you stand no chance of selling that. if you want to play that game. If you decided if you even want to think about true exclusives. That's why I say in this video, we need to talk about true exclusives, console exclusives, and multi-platform. It needs to happen. Let's take a look at these comments. And I'm pretty sure you guys see what I mean when I say that, because Nintendo is true exclusive. They always have been. Sony's going back to true exclusives with their single player games. Zach Austin says E-Day was made exclusive overnight. I kind of feel like it was real quick, but I don't think you can make that presentation overnight, but it was definitely something that had to be turned around and edited or something. All they do is lie. I kind of feel like that's true. And even if they don't want to lie, they kind of have to make themselves a liar because it's not working out. I feel bad for Xbox fans. Just depends, because after a while, people need to wake up and kind of like not be so ignorant and blind. You know what I mean? I still love Xbox. Like historically, like 360 days, Xbox One days to an extent, but not that much. But original Xbox or 360, absolutely. That's the Xbox brand I loved. But Xbox One, I liked when they announced the Game Pass. I liked when they did the Xbox One X. That's when I actually came back. And that's the part of the Xbox One era that I liked. But other than that, it's like, no. Because they made me so mad, I still, to this day. He says, in other words, once the games sell poorly, they'll get ported to other platforms. And that's the thing, guys. I kind of feel like this is 4 games. Like Phil Spencer saying, 4 games only. Not to bring him up, because I loved what Phil Spencer did. He did as much as he could. And don't you think for a second that he has not been behind Asha this whole time. If you think Phil Spencer's gone, you're not understanding this game, and you're not understanding the way actually politics works. Think of Biden, Obama. If you are that good at politics, other than that, don't worry about it. But basically what I'm saying is that he's still in the back. She didn't just make all this up. No, this is massive gathering, massive mentoring, and then making decisions together still. Phil Spencer is still there, like Goku throwing a Kamehameha with Gohan with her. This is not to say he's a Goku thing, but you guys get what I mean. That's how much he cares about Xbox. He still is emotionally involved, and I kind of have to say it because I know that mentality with him. If he could have had it all exclusive and doing that, trust me, he would have done that. Going down to Asha and Matt Booty, PS5 Pro, he says, the right decision, not fast decision. Oh, really? The company is so full of it. I wouldn't support anything they put out on other consoles. Jeff Grubb, so yeah, there's basically a finished version of Gears for PlayStation sitting on a drive. He said that today. It's still there. They didn't delete it. It's sitting around. You want to know why? Because this is a test. When they saw the results with Forza, they were thinking in that combination with Steam. And I try to tell you guys, the only way this is going to work is if they keep Steam around, they drop the prices of the consoles, do exclusive consoles, like you saw the 25th anniversary, which I think that's an amazing looking console, but where's the mid-gen upgrade? Man, if you would have had that, boy, you'd be competing with Sony with the PS5 Pro and your own AI upscaling and GTA 6 superiority rights. I'm telling you, Microsoft, there are some times where they could have some of these angles and they just don't fire on them rightly. They'll defeat themselves more than before anybody else does. But yes, this is not going to go anywhere. Because they're going to find a way to turn things around. Because I'm telling you right now, Gears of War is not going to be able to survive in the way that the direction it's going. And I don't like that. Because it looks like it's going to be a good game. Because this market is tough. And there's going to be 20 games coming out after it launches. Non-stop weekly. It's going to be insane. You guys have seen it at Summer Games Fest. You've seen the PlayStation lineups. You've seen the third-party lineups. All the way. Everybody's trying to avoid GTA like they're getting a Black Friday GTA avoidance line. You see what I mean? And all those games are stacked up before GTA comes out. They're going to flood all in front of Gears of War. Plus all the Nintendo exclusives. Get ready for this Nintendo Direct. And all those multiplayer games are going to release. All those single-player games are going to release. They're going to be grabbing all these people's attentions. Gears of War is not going to be the game that is going to be Game of the Year, and nobody's ever going to leave it, and they're going to ignore all those other releases after that, and all those Day 1 Game Pass games. All those games on PlayStation launching. Huge games. All those games on PC and Steam launching. All those games on Nintendo Switch 2 launching. All the live service updates. All the multiplayer games coming out, too. That's why I say that how is it going to maintain and survive? It's going to be tough. You guys seriously need to think about this. Remember when AGN told you this? Remember that, because you're going to have to come back to this. They already said this years ago. Why are y'all playing crazy? So things pretty much the same as they have been the past 2.5 years. This is why I refuse to go back to Xbox as my main console. Anytime they port to PS5, I'll buy the game there instead. Come next gen, I'll simply skip Helix and just go for PS6 where I get exclusives. I can understand that. You don't need a Helix. You just need a PC. They're never skipping PC. They just decided not to put that on PlayStation along with Clockwork. Basically, no stats quo or change. They will continue to fence sit and that will be a failure, resulting in full third-party publishing in a few years. They either need to be full exclusive or full third-party. Now's the time for full exclusivity, if ever. Or you could have waited to the Helix and did it the right way and try to have a cheaper model. But even then, that's tough too. You kind of got to get people prepared for it. Like I said, it's a tough situation. So they end up doing that game in Clockwork. We're going to see how it turns out. Now, let's go back here a little bit because we got another poster we need to talk about with MBG. And this is what he said. Xbox has been a clown show for years now, honestly. I understand why he feels that way. The constant back and forth and not being able to just be clear about exclusives. We literally just went through this exact same thing in 2022 with Phil Spencer. Like, what are we doing here, man? And I think a lot of people will say, oh, you're salty because PlayStation is not coming or Gears is not coming to PlayStation. No, I think what he's saying is that what I was saying, regardless of whether that's exclusive or not, and I have no problem with that. I already stated that. It's about, like I said, the flip-flopping and the confusion on the market. People are now worried because it's like, what are you doing now? Now you're saying, I don't even know what's going to be exclusive now. I don't even know. You're not going to do full. And then we know you're full third party, but then you're going to sometimes not be full third party. And that's what it means by what are we doing here, man? Peyote Whoop says, why the Blue Crew so salty? E-Day being an exclusive, Clockwork I know will be a massive hit. I don't know about that, maybe. And Zao are one of the best studios in the industry most gamers never heard of. They will next year. That sounds like some fanboy nonsense. MBG says, it's not salt. 98% of the games are releasing on PlayStation 5. Literally. Literally. It's like you saying, I don't want to go all the way at 100%. Now I want to take back a little percentage. And Gears is actually a chunk, so... It's the constant jerking around that is old and tired, and the in-between and all that's dealing with the frauds that will parrot whatever the Xbox executives are saying, even if it's completely hypocritical. I completely agree with him. If it looks like it's doing something for Xbox, they will shift and parrot. This is not anything new. That's why I said the parasocial behavior development we saw over the last 5 to 6, 7 years was not good. And then the slamming down exclusives, grifting against PlayStation and Nintendo, and then now you cry back for exclusives, and when that happens, you go back and do that too. It's like, but I want you to really take a look at yourself, guys, and really realize what type of behavior that is. The Nintendo community is never confused. Steam community is never confused. PlayStation community is never confused, really. There may have been some times they were, though, because of some moves Sony made. But the Xbox community has been confused for a long time. And that's not something to say, oh, haha, I'm making fun of you. It's like, no. It takes two to tango. It's a both thing, but mainly it's Microsoft to blame more than the Xbox fans. Because some of the Xbox fans are so loyal, they'll take a beating so bad, they'll still stay loyal. Hey, man, I respect loyalty. High five to y'all that stay loyal. I ain't never, right here, I live in the heart, I ain't never gonna beat down loyalty. But what I will not support is disrespect and stupidity. And if you work together to kind of want to be an equalizer like I was doing, you come in and crap on that, and then just go on an anti-consumer spree, then it's like, oh, nah, hey, this is not about loyalty. This is about where I don't feel like that. I don't want to be loyal to that. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm loyal to like the light, right? When I say I'm loyal to light, I'm loyal to faith, or I'm loyal to goodness. I'm loyal to helping humans, or like doing the right thing. It's like, that's stuff you want to be loyal to. But why would you want to be loyal to disrespect, to betrayal, to lies, to hide things on you, to kill what you love? You know, all those sorts of things. It's like, no. You don't want to be loyal to that. You got to leave. That's why a lot of people left. It's like, look at the thing now. Yeah, because look at what you did. So Pixels and Dice says, you just wake up. New leadership is what's going on, clearly. Plans for this show and the games in it were planned before Asha. She did work to make sure exclusives were here. The strategy moving forward hasn't solidified yet. No, it's not even close to being solidified. Because with them, there is no solidification. There's confusion. And what do you actually want to do? Because they do that a lot. He says, how is it different from Sony? Literal disingenuous hypocrisy. PlayStation's big multiplayer games are multi-platform, and their single-player big budget titles are exclusive. Xbox is doing the same thing. No, they're not. Sony's going full exclusive with their single-player games. You were just lied to. He said it's going to be big live service and multiplayer games. All the single-player games announced are going to PlayStation. The only one that's exclusive is Gears of War. That's a big game. Clockwork is single player, but that's a multiplayer and single player. But Clockwork's not guaranteed to be anything huge. Nobody knows what that's going to be at all. How are they doing the same thing PlayStation's doing? They're not pulling from PC. Sony never shared with Xbox. It's not the same. You're not making any sense here. I'm just saying, like, no, they're not. Xbox is doing the same thing plus adding PC since that's a core pillar to them. That's not the same thing. No. So it's not disingenuous hypocrisy. He's not talking about because Xbox is trying to do exclusive. He's talking about the confusingness and the flip-flopping of Microsoft and stepping out ranks and inconsistency. You're trying to make it seem like they're trying to do what Sony's doing. They're not, though, because anything Sony did that was multiplayer is not exclusive to PlayStation. Unless they want to decide to do that. Gears of War is the big talk here, not Clockwork. Nobody's going to say anything about that game. For what? Doesn't seem like it's going to be a threat. This guy says Gears of War E-Day is going to die on Series X. I can't believe they gave up sales on PlayStation 5 for clout on Twitter. I think it's a little bit more than that, but also the post on the Xbox where the exclusive is the big thing. And like I said, if you would have said this is for the 25th anniversary and a gift to the Xbox fans historically, then I could have understood that. But that's not what they said. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man. But like MBG was saying, 98% of the games are coming to PlayStation 5, right? So there we have it. And then Shinobi just had his post, right? Xbox console exclusives is about to desire to give players a reason to buy an Xbox. You're insane if you think that at that price. That's not going to work. Live service games will continue to be full multi-platform. Previously announced ports will be honored for their respective platforms. Future games will be case-by-case basis. Platforms will be announced with dates. Yeah, that's what he said. But my thing here is that exclusives only sell consoles if you have the right balance. In this generation right now, nobody still wants to buy an Xbox to play Gears of War at that price. They're going to go get a PC or stay on their PC. And everybody else already had a PS5 to play the 98 other percent that are actually coming. So there's no really dancing around that. That's just realizing the truth here. So there we have it, guys. This is what I had to say kind of about that. And I want you guys to let me know what you think. Definitely when I talk about true exclusive, console exclusive, and multi-platform, and Microsoft not being consistent in their messages. And then now they want to do this. And it kind of feels like, this is some great thing. Now let's all just get with it. And that's what I mean by the parroting. Because it's like, no, how many times have you done this? And you still don't share any numbers. So yeah, like I said, if you're intelligent, sit back and say, I want to see how you're going to do for a full straight year. Let's see if you're consistent. All in all, keep on gaming, whatever platform you're on. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member. Appreciate it, guys. Peace out. Later.